I'll say it. Call of Duty is back. I'm sure we're going to get many comments on here saying, oh, I'm going to be playing Battlefield 6. I'm going to be playing Black Ops 7. I'm going to be playing both. And as it turns out, specifically the story of Black Ops 7 is looking absolutely wild. For those of you who don't know, we got the big reveal for Call of Duty Black Ops 7 today. And needless, it was a big reveal. It was like multiplayer, zombies, campaign, pretty much entire breakdown of the story. They put out a blog, and in this blog, they have every character with an in-depth backstory who is going to be in the campaign, including the bad guys and what is going to be going on with this. It is going to be huge. So I'm going to break this down into 2 separate videos. This first one here, I am going to give you a breakdown of the story. What is going on with the campaign? They have an end game for the campaign and for the story of the game, as well as mastery camos going along with it as well, which we will explain and break down throughout this video. But first, I want to play the trailer for you, break that down, and then break down any additional information that you may need to know about the story. So without further ado, this is going to be the campaign, and this is going to be the story of Black Ops 7.
They want you afraid. Fear makes you easier to control. It's time to wake up.
Your streets shall once again run red with your blood.
Raul Menendez ignited global unrest on an unprecedented scale.
Menendez is a terrorist. We're bringing peace and security to the world.
He refuses to let me go.
Stop looking backwards, David. What matters is what we do next.
A lot of people counting on us for answers.
This isn't real.
The hell it ain't!
So eager to leave, David.
Killing the man is a hell of a lot easier than killing the idea.
You were never cut out to be a Mason.
No more games. This ends now.
Get the Reznov Challenge Pack when you pre-order now.
So there was some extra stuff in there, including like Dead Ops Arcade that you may have noticed. There was on top of that a little bit of multiplayer, but I'm going to focus here on the story. Let's start off with the crew that we play as in this game. And in fact, there was a direct that came out that broke these things down pretty quick. So I'm going to include a bunch of clips from there as well, but of course a bigger breakdown of some things that you may or may not have noticed.
At the heart of it all is David Mason, returning from Black Ops 2 and now portrayed by Milo Ventimiglia, who brings the grounded intensity and emotional depth that the story demands.
David is a true leader, but he's riddled with doubts. He's always worried, did he do the right thing? That fear is really the basis of this story.
Under the authority of now Commander Troy Marshall.
No, you did not hear that wrong. That is Troy Marshall, the same character from Black Ops 6. The character who was introduced as kind of the main character in that game is now who is in charge of David Mason and kind of his mentor, if you will. Now moving on to the rest of his crew.
Mike Harper returns with his tough-as-nails attitude and signature humor. We get this good balance of the energy that he brings, but also the way that he can take David aside and be really honest with him. Michael Rooker reprises the role, and he brings every ounce of personality you'd expect.
The guy is not a lot of fun.
Balancing Harper's bold personality is Eric Samuels, portrayed by John Eric Bentley. After protecting the president alongside David and Harper back in Black Ops 2.
So yes, this was a character in Black Ops 2. He was a part of the president's protection team. He has now joined David Mason for this mission.
50-50 is one of our new characters. She's pretty amazing. She's Samoan, and she's kind of worked her way up.
Now, the interesting thing about this character is they have prosthetic limbs. They said that they had a degenerative disease. Instead of just quitting, they replaced their arms and legs with prosthetic limbs, which is of course going to tie into the whole robotic story. Speaking of which, why is this team put together?
At the end of Black Ops 2, Raul Menendez was seemingly killed. Now in 2035, he's back with a mysterious video threatening to burn the world down in 3 days. In response to this imminent threat, the Guild, a global tech conglomerate, has stepped in to offer protection where governments and nations have failed.
So David Mason puts together a JSOC team known as Spectre 1 to go in and stop what is going on here. And essentially, they go into Avalon to inspect what is going on with the Guild. Which, by the way, the entire name of Spectre 1, I truly believe, is a massive, massive Easter egg. I would love to do a video on it. If you guys want to see it, please hit the like button. Let me know down in the comments. Now, the JSOC team goes into Avalon, specifically showing up at the Guild. That is where the teaser picked up. And when they get here, they end up finding that the Raul Menendez tape that's been sent out that tells us that the world's going to be plunged into darkness in 3 days starts playing. Now, it is just before this that the team finds out about a gas. Now, if you played Black Ops 6, it appears as though this gas is extremely similar to Cradle, essentially causing hallucinations and playing these hallucinations based off of your fears. Now, we will come back to that, but what you need to know about this is the Guild is a company based off of protecting you from your fears. So if they can cause you to have fears, that is beneficial for them, hence probably researching this gas. Now, let's go to those characters, the people working for the Guild.
We're introducing Emma Kagan, portrayed by Kiernan Shipka. As the CEO of the Guild, Emma has positioned herself as humanity's last line of defense against the emerging threat. But her philosophy on how to confront this crisis puts her at odds with David and his team.
Now, the most interesting thing about all of that is that person standing behind Emma Kagan clearly isn't Raul Menendez, definitely looks like a bald person. And we have also heard about someone by the name of Victor, who is apparently the CTO of the Guild. So we don't fully know where Emma Kagan falls yet. All right, so let's break this down a little bit further. What we know here is that there's this message that goes out by Raul Menendez. Based off of everything that we have known from Black Ops 2, Raul Menendez is dead. So I almost guarantee you that this message that was sent out was an AI version of Raul Menendez sent by the Guild to the JSOC team in order to bait David Mason and his JSOC team into the Guild. Once there, they are given this cradle or this new gas that's been made. And most of the campaign, I truly believe, is going to take place within these kind of hallucinations. And that's the predominant thing that we see throughout this trailer. We see a couple of different things, like Angola, for example. This is where Frank Woods was when he was captured by Raul Menendez. We see something like Los Angeles, which was the second last mission of Black Ops 2. That is when Raul Menendez sent his attack. And basically playing with David Mason's mind, because he has this massive fear that has been all put into place by Raul Menendez, and the Guild is using that against him. Now, it's also been confirmed that Alaska in here is actually David Mason's home that he grew up in with his father, Alex Mason. And before we get into the Avalon side of things, I want to break down this part a little bit more. First of all, we see Nicaragua with holding the machete, which is Menendez. We see David Mason running as a child, as well as a table where someone is being interrogated, which appears to be Alex Mason. We see a flashback of Frank Woods before we see his grave. In other words, in memory of Frank Woods. We'll break that down more in a future video, as well as this kind of facility, which I believe to be the Guild that they are breaking into throughout this campaign. Again, we're going to come back to this. Check out this next scene where we see Kagan, we see David Mason, we see Menendez, and we even see Alex Mason brought in there as well. And if you really listen to the audio of that section, it's Emma Kagan saying, "You don't deserve to have the name of Mason. So this history of this entire Black Ops universe is all coming down to this story here. Now, how do I think this will end? How do I think this will wrap up? Well, it all has to do with something that they have told us about that has never been done in a Call of Duty game before, known as the endgame.
And as part of the co-op campaign, we're unleashing something bold, the endgame. This isn't just a final mission, it's a proving ground, a culmination of everything you've learned through the campaign, then turned on its head. The endgame is a social experience where you and your squad will need to master abilities, survive overwhelming odds, adapt under pressure, and break the rules of what you thought a campaign could be.
And you get to do it not just with your friends, but there's another 28 players, so 32 in total. It is truly a living world.
I want to be clear, I think their description of this is kind of dumb. Let me explain it to you. This is a PvE 32 people versus the elements map. You can bring in 32 people or play with 32 randoms, or you can play alone. And essentially, this is an ever-evolving world. It is not an extraction shooter. It is a PvE. I don't think it's a looter shooter. I wish it was, but I think it's more so you against the elements, kind of like a roguelike. And I think the best way to kind of compare this is, you know how they just introduced the Elden Ring Night Rain? This is kind of like a first-person shooter version of what I believe that to be. And not to mention, they're also doing mastery camos for the campaign, as well as weekly challenges for whatever this endgame open world thing is on Avalon. I'm hoping it's good. I've wanted a PvE, and I'm hoping they do like seasonal updates where they add Easter eggs in on Avalon, add story to the game, and emphasize what this could actually be. Only time will tell with where this goes, but I have hopes, and I'll do a future video just on this alone, giving you my opinions, but it is interesting nonetheless. But it all ties into the story and specifically what is going on with Avalon. So Avalon is kind of like the hub world. This is where the campaign actually takes place. I truly believe David Mason and his team go in here, they end up getting brainwashed by this like cradle-like substance, and by the very end, that final end game mission is going to be the entire squad of the JSOC team trying to escape or get out of Avalon. That is what I truly believe is going to happen. But then all of these individual missions will be when you go back to the guild base and get brainwashed, and you're seeing parts of David Mason's past and the story being all put together in one. But it all takes place in Avalon, where the guild is based. Now, I just want to be clear about something. This is the story that we've pieced together so far. This may be the most confusing and mind-bending Call of Duty story we have ever seen. So if you're a fan of the Call of Duty story or just video game story in general, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because we're going to keep covering this. I'm going to have videos coming pretty soon about each individual character's backstory, how they tie together. That Easter egg that is literally, I think, stems from a theory video that I made during Black Ops 4. I know that sounds wild, like literally a decade ago. All of this is coming together in one big thing, and I think this story could be really good. Is it going to be? I don't know. The open world part of things I'm questioning. The co-op part of things I'm questioning. The end game I hope is fantastic, but I think this story could be something special. And Black Ops does mind-bending campaigns. Modern Warfare does down-to-earth campaigns. We're going real mind-bending with this one, and I'm curious of what you guys are thinking about it. Later today, I'm going to have a multiplayer video breaking down everything we learned about multiplayer today, which is a lot. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is the story of Black Ops 7 so far. I think we got a pretty good base of what's going to happen here. And let me know what you're thinking. Good, bad, ugly. Down in the comments. Subscribe if you like story. And until next time, peace.
We are